As the four of you are on your way into Valentine, there's still that heavy, smoky haze from the fire that's still raging through the Cumberland Forest and the Heartland Plains. And it covers the town in this thick blanket as people, as the humans are trying to spend as little time outside as they can, and they're taking shelter inside of any closed building that they can. There's still a few people out in the street, but mostly everybody is wearing a mask of some kind to cover their face from the thick smoke. And it's settled over the town in this basically a dense fog as you basically breathe in the scent of the smoke. You can taste it when you talk, and you guys are on your way into town. What would you like to do?
Well, since Isaac has something going on here, he would he would want to try to find the individual. Can't think of the name right now. Sorry, I just literally woke up not too long ago.
It's okay. Um, I actually can't remember his name too.
Something Lot. I thought I had notes here.
It was, I want to say it was either Curtis or Russell. I think it was Russell.
Clinton.
Clint. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Russell was the ghost.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Excuse me. So, uh, he would. If I could find my GIF. Yeah, he would just use Pulse of the Prey to see if he can figure out where this person is.
Okay.
Which is, if they're hiding, I will have to actually roll something, but if not, it's just automatic.
Yeah, he's not actively hiding. Um, and the gift points you towards the general store, where you see there's a small wagon pulled up, um, and there's a small boy in the wagon holding the reins. He looks like he's just waiting. He's probably about 12, maybe 13 years old. Um, he's wearing a mask over the bottom half of his face to keep the smoke out of his lungs, and he's waiting. He's and this this short black kid, and he's waiting in the carriage, holding the reins. He basically just he looks a little bored as he's people watching as people walk by.
And that directs a general sense of where this person is, yeah?
Yes.
So yeah, he'll go up and saddle up next to the wagon, get the attention of the kid. Wouldn't happen to know who Clinton Lott is, would you?
And he pauses for a moment and kind of looks you up and down, and he says, "Why, that's my pa."
Yeah, take it he's inside.
And he gives you a nod.
Alright. He tips his hat a little bit and heads on into the store to see if he can find Clinton.
And as you walk into the general store, easily enough, you see a man that matches Clinton's description, and he is paying the store clerk money, and he has a few bundles of basically general supplies and food. And one of the store assistants is grabbing one of the bundles to help load it up into the wagon. That one of the clerk assistants is grabbing one of the bundles to load it up into the wagon, and as you walk in, you hear the clerk say, "Well, that's just about everything, Mr. Lot. My boys will load up the wagon for you."
Alrighty. Well, he kind of stays out of the way for a minute. Let him do his thing. And it won't be until like he's starting to head to the door that Isaac will move forward, tip his hat a little bit. Can I maybe get a minute of your time? Got something to discuss with you. Possible.
And Clinton nods and he says, "Sure," as he's holding one of the bundles that he just bought. And he says, What's the matter?"
Now, I reckon this is going to sound weird, but I have something to give to you that your daddy gave to me. And he shows him the watch. I made a promise that I would give it to you as soon as I can. So, here you go. He just hands it over.
And he takes it with his free hand and looks confused, maybe even a little perplexed as he kind of opens up the pocket watch and sees that his father's name is etched on the inside, and he he just looks bewildered as he says, "My father died 30 years ago, over 30 years ago."
Which is why I said it might sound kind of weird. Some folk, they're a little touched when it comes to spirits. And, well, I happen to be one of them, unfortunately. For some reason, he felt the need to come to me to give this to you. I guess he found it of some importance.
And he still looks a good bit confused, and he says, "Well, do you, well, thank you. Do you need anything, or?"
Well, nothing I can think of. Just doing a favor to somebody that can't do it themselves.
You're right. This all sounds very strange. Well, you take care, sir.
You too. He tips his hat and steps on out, heading back to the rest of the pack.
How'd it go?
Well enough. How can anything like that go? Of course, the kid was confused, but deliver my side of the promise.
Good. At least we won't be hunted. Sorry. At least you won't be hunted down by the spirits.
Oh, that happens to me anyway.
Oh well, that's kind of unfortunate then.
Part of being a silence strider.
This went rather well, all things considered. I didn't have to do anything.
Oh, I have a feeling it's going to come back and bite us in the ass somehow. Seems to be the gist of everything lately.
I mean, you did a good deed. What's the worst that could happen?
Now, see, you done gone and jinxed it.
Hmm. Yeah, good point. So, boss man, what next then? Now that we managed to deliver the item here to Valentine.
I think you muted it.
How about now?
Yeah,
There you go. You gave me the silent treatment, boss.
no, I could hear him like across the house. I was like,
It's like I'm disappointed.
eh.
Take a day, get anything that you need. Refill ammo, supplies. We'll ride out for strawberries as soon as you guys are ready.
Yes, sir.
Adrian goes to the post office.
Okay.
He's just going to the bar to get a drink.
Okay.
Actually,
Hmm?
you know, mm, thinking about it, yeah, Isaac will actually take a minute and remember the warning that the guy gave. You know, maybe it might be some kind of, maybe it might be something. And while they're doing whatever they're doing, he's just gonna wait near the store and wait for the guy to finish, to come back out, ask him one more question. If he hasn't left already, that is.
I'm sorry. Could you remind me what the warning was?
Just stay away from roads. He'd
Oh.
want to
Oh.
know if like maybe he knows something about roads or
Oh. Okay. Okay. All right.
yeah.
I remember that. For for a moment, I thought I forgot something important. I was like, wait.
Nah, if it's nothing big, then it would just probably just be like you don't know.
Well, I mean, it could be big. Depends on if you guys ever go to Rhodes. Yeah, it takes probably not even another minute or two before Russell is done inside, and you see the clerk assistants kind of going in and out a few times to load up the wagon, and then Russell steps outside, and he notices you and says, "You look like you have something on your mind."
Yeah, there was actually one thing your daddy said to me. He told me to stay away from roads. You happen to know what's going on there lately? I haven't been there in some time.
No, I don't live anywhere near Rhodes, but I mean, from what I hear, it's no friendly place to colored folk. It's where a bunch of Confederate sympathizers live. The As I hear it, the Lemoyne Raiders cause it. They welcome the Lemoyne Raiders with pretty open arms over that way.
Good to know. All right, well, I'll leave you on your way then.
All right, well, you take care.
Try my best.
And
You
he
finally get
and he climbs up into the wagon with his son, and they head out on the way out of Valentine.
Alrighty. Um, he wouldn't need any ammo or anything to stock up, so he would basically wait on the bench, like kind of hang out, wait for everybody to get whatever they need to get. I know
Okay.
Adrian went to the post office. Where's Heath and Laz going?
Bar.
The bar. Okay, then he'd be going in that direction.
Since he hasn't used much ammo and he has everything he needs so far for the trip. So the bar it is.
And yeah, he'll go to the bar then.
I'm gonna assume Laz is also gonna head to the bar with Heath and Isaac unless Laz protests. Sounds like a fine idea. Okay. So what is Adrian doing over in the post office?
He's gonna write a letter to the elders of the Sept of the Emerald Marsh, his Sept,
Mm-hmm.
and let them know what's going on. He's not, of course, going to send them a letter or anything in writing saying, "Hey, I lit the oil fields on fire" or anything, but just let them know that he'll be going, that they're going to go get the stone, the Pathstone.
All right. All
Then
right.
he'll probably write one for Izzy and send them off. And then he's going to go to the general store, pick up a few things, and then say, "Shit, I didn't tell him where we were going to meet. So I guess they're in the bar." So he's going to go to the bar.
All right. So in the bar, the large bar that's kind of down the main road of town, it looks like it's not as busy as it usually is, just because the smoke has seemed to found a way to drift in through the open kind of swinging doors. But there are a few people that are still having a few drinks, a few that are still staying overnight, and it's generally pretty quiet, more quiet than it usually is, as the smoke has driven business away.
Should light fires more often.
Kind of have myself a whiskey.
Yeah, he's probably the last one in, so he just walk in and go sit with the guys.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to stay here for the night, or you want to get going?
Probably get going and build this smoke that appear out of nowhere. Gonna make it hard to sleep during the night.
And when mention of smoke comes up, the barkeep mentions, "Yeah, I probably wouldn't stay the night in town. This damned smoke has found its way into everything."
Yeah. Well, as soon as you guys are done drinking, we'll go.
Sounds good to me. And Heath just orders 2 more shots. How long do you think it'll take until it get to Strawberry?
I don't know, a few days. Never been there before.
I've never been that far as well. The furthest is Emerald Plains, but even then.
Strawberry isn't too far away from Valentine. The way I've been doing it is like each region is about like a day's trip to get across. If I remember right, we left off at around like noon. So by noon tomorrow, you guys would make it to Strawberry, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah, a day.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Sorry, wrong time period language. Awesome. And he just chugs the 2 shots and puts them on the ground. Well, I'm ready. I don't know about the rest of the guys.
Yeah, I think we just drink down the last of his beer. And get up, show that he's ready.
And you, lass?
As says, huh? What about me?
Are you ready to go?
And he says, oh, sure am. Alright, and it doesn't take long for the 4 of you to saddle up and head on your way to Strawberry as you follow the roads along the winding curves of the Dakota River. And soon enough, the open plains of New Hanover are replaced by the rugged mountains and hills of West Elizabeth. And the dirt trail gradually becomes less dry and more of a muddy path as the 4 of you pass by Riggs Station and head up the road to Strawberry. And Strawberry is a much smaller town than Valentine. And from just the looks of things as you ride in through the archway that the archway where the sign Strawberry rests with a antlered skull on top. The town is basically looks like a muddy road, maybe a general store, an inn, and then just a few houses, and that's it. Like riding through here, you could miss it in the blink of an eye. It's definitely a small mountain town.
It really is a hamlet.
What the fuck are we riding into?
A hamlet?
Oh my god, this place is tiny.
It has the essentials, I think.
I own more
Everything's
property than this city takes up.
Not every city is going to be big and bustling.
Sorry, it's gonna be shell shock for our friend here.
Hilarious. Why do they even put something like this on the map?
Oh, dude, it's a good hunting ground, I think, if I remember correctly. But like I said,
I can see that.
I'm not. I haven't been this far out. Plus, it has the river going through the entire hamlet, so you got the natural source of water. Just need a little post office and a general store, and there you go. That's all this town needs, honestly.
And as you guys are trotting through the town on your horses, the two most notable landmarks in this little town hamlet are the basically the bridge and the what's called the welcome center. It's this big sign at basically the end of the road before it turns. And as you're riding through, you pass by the post office, the general store, and there's maybe like an inn. There's an inn too as you go down the road.
See, all the comforts of home, being away from home. Now, how to find those two, the mentor and Cara.
Well, it looks like there's only like 4 houses here. It's not like there's that many options for them to live.
I mean, aren't they like part of nature or something to learn from the spirit world or something like that?
Aren't we all?
Point taken. So do we just start knocking on every door and say, "Hello, is Cara at home?"
No. He's glancing on it. He's fascinated by this. I'm sorry. I'm looking at these pictures. They're great. We can start at the inn. Yeah, let's start at the inn. Let's get a hot meal while we're at it. Anything's better than Isaac's cooking.
Wow. I feel offended by that.
You probably should.
We all felt offended by dinner last night.
Nobody told you to eat it.
Actually, it was kind of good.
And Laz pipes up with, "Huh? I liked it."
See, that's why I like Laz more than you two idiots. And then he walks off.
Kiss ass. And then he just follows along.
Yeah, they ride on up to the inn and hitch their horses, go inside.
Okay. And in the inn, it's it's built like a timber frame house. Much of the town is very German inspired in its architecture. And as the four of you go into like the main lobby of the inn, you see that there's a stuffed bear in one corner. There's a few uh, hunting trophies of bucks and deer. There's even a rug carpet in front of the fireplace. Looks like a bearskin rug.
Huh.
There's quite a few different hunting trophies. There's even like a stuffed eagle as well. And at the front desk of the inn, there's this young woman, and she offers the four of you a smile, and she says, "Welcome to Strawberry. The four of you look new here. Is there anything I can help you with?"
First, we'd like some food. You guys have that, right?
Well, yes, we do.
Excellent.
Good, because I'm starving.
You're always starving. Oh my god.
I'm a growing boy. I need food to survive.
And she reaches somewhere behind her counter and pulls out like a four small menus for each of you, and she sets them aside in a small pile, and she says, "Oh, are you any of you are you gentlemen staying the night?"
I don't know yet. We might, if there's room.
Please tell me there's 4 rooms if that's the case.
I believe there's 2 rooms available now, and then I believe the welcome center might have 2 more rooms, but you'd have to ask over there.
What's the welcome center?
Yeah, what is the welcome center?
Oh, the mayor, the mayor set up the welcome center as sort of a I guess he calls it a tourism center. I don't quite understand it, but from what I understand, the mayor came all the way from New York with these big ideas of starting up a town of his own, and the welcome center is where he usually direct folks to learn more about the town, about the area. The mayor, he's always going on about how Strawberry's a tourism center of the culture of the Wild West or some such.
Wow.
I see.
I just the other day we had a city slicker come all the way from, I believe it was Pennsylvania. He he was he was very shocked and surprised to say the least, and he said the town was just a muddy road and a few houses. Said it was nothing like he said it was nothing like he heard the town was supposed to be. So I suppose the mayor sure has a way with words.
Sounds
That's
like
not
you're the man.
that bad of a town. I mean, it's just smaller than I thought it would be.
Where?
Dad, you're up in the mountains. Of course it's a muddy road. There's no... It rains all the time up here.
And she says, "Well, anyway," and she hands over the 4 menus, and she says, "The dining room's right over that way. If you gentlemen would like to take a seat, and we can get you some hot food."
Great. And then he's the first one to go sit down at the diner.
Adrian grabs a menu and goes and sits down with them.
And he takes up one, mumbling about how Heath has a stomach like a whale. Not like, fish whale, but a whale. Just bottomless.
The fucking group's trash compactor.
Yep. So,
But yeah, the menu is pretty standard. There's like sausages, eggs, scrambled eggs. Looks like they have a today's special is vegetable and venison stew. It's pretty standard as far as menus go.
All right, so they order. Kind of do the food thing. And when she comes back to give them their food, he's gonna go ahead and ask if she knows Cara.
And she pauses for a moment and she says, "Oh, Cara, she's I believe her office is just outside of town. If you take the road that leads out, kind of north-ish, northeast, it's the little blue house. I believe she lives with this old black woman named Andromeda. Yeah, those two live over that way. She takes patients in from time to time."
Okay.
That's good to her.
why do you have to speak with your mouth full?
It's gonna be important.
I swear, I'm the one that sleeps outside. I have more manners than you do. That's incredible.
Sorry? As he swallows, as he grabs his second bowl too, and just begins to eat.
So, you said it was around noontime?
Yeah, around noon.
They're gonna go ahead and hang out for a while, eat, have a few drinks or whatever, and wait until the sun's starting to set when they wouldn't have any more patients, or
Okay.
when it's least likely that they would have patients.
All right.
And then yeah, around near sunset, they're gonna go out to the blue house, knock on the door.
And as you approach this little blue house, it's just outside of Strawberry, and you can see the clothesline still has some clothes hanging out to dry. Uh, when you go up to knock on the door, you hear an older woman's voice say, "Oh, come in."
Yeah, he opens the door, removes his hat, and enters.
He enters, but he keeps his hat on.
Wow, Heath, rude.
This is exactly what I mean.
Uncouth fuck.
smack the hat off his head. No, I think doesn't. He just kind of gives a pointed look at it while taking off his own hat.
And when the four of you step inside, you see that the house is kind of part doctor's office, part living room, and looks like there's some space towards the back for looks like 2 bedrooms, and in this rocking chair is this older, elderly looking black woman, and she's it looks like she's knitting something, and as the four of you walk in, she sets her knitting supplies down and slowly stands up. And in the in the in the candlelight, you can see that her eyes have a partially milky gray color. Looks like she's probably lost her sight over the years. But she turns her attention to the four of you and says, I'm not used to getting visitors this late. My name's Andromeda. How can I help you?
He had met her once before. She wasn't an elder, was she?
Yes. Yes, she was.
She was an elder. Oh. He glances around real quick just to make sure and says it's Little Shadow Ryan.
And she nods and says, I am Eyes of Delphi.
I remember. How are you guys doing out here?
We've been doing well. Cara is out right now undergoing some training. I sent her on a few errands in the Umbra. What brings the four of you out this far?
Well, we were out in Valentine when we learned that talks between the Uktena and the Sept out there and our Sept were going pretty good. And we were told that we were tasked with getting a bridge stone. We were closer to here than we were to there, and we don't have a third, so we're kind of hoping to pick your brain.
And she nods and motions for the four of you to take a seat as she sits back down.
He nods and moves to take a seat.
Well, there are a few ways to find a Pathstone. The most common one that I know of would be to seek out a fallen cairn, one that hasn't been taken by one that has. The most common way I know of is to seek out a fallen cairn, one that hasn't been taken by the worm. In this country, that may be perhaps the easiest way to find a Pathstone. The nation has had many battles and skirmishes with the natives. I am certain that a few of their cairns are still abandoned and empty. It's very rare well, it wouldn't be common for Garu to take over a cairn and then leave it abandoned, but sometimes spirits do not wish to take it over. You'd also undergo a spirit quest into the Umbra. Perhaps travel to the moon herself and find a Pathstone there. And I have heard stories of Pathstones being found in the Dark Umbra as well. No matter what path you may take to find a Pathstone, it'll be dangerous. It will test your unity as a pack and your trust in each other.
Huh. And what are the chances of us, do you think, doing it in a little bit less than a month?
That may depend on a number of factors. Time flows differently in the Umbra. The laws of the spirit world are different from our world here in the physical. It could take you a month, it could take you a week.
Still real nervous about going to the Umbra, though. Shit.
And she pauses for a moment and then she speaks up again and she says, "Well, have the four of you chosen a totem yet?"
No, we're still undecided. It would probably be the easiest way. He kind of glances to the others.
I'm sorry, but the moon?
Yeah. Are you as fascinated by that idea as I am?
How though? And then he looks up the roof. I don't write magic.
Things work differently in the Umbra.
So would you just climb an Umbra ladder to the moon?
I don't know.
Guess we're all gonna find out, aren't we?
Well, it's either go, from what she said, it's either go to the moon, go into the deep Umbra, or go to the underworld.
Maybe we should leave it to a vote. Where do we go? Purgatory or the moon?
I can tell you now, the moon's probably gonna be safer
Yeah.
because spirits, or more specifically, wraiths don't like it when you spend too much time in their neighborhood. If you have me as a guide, maybe, but overall, it was an option.
It still is an option.
Yeah.
Well, traveling to the moon may not be as safe as you assume. The half moon is in but a few days, and the moon paths may disappear in a few days' time. If you travel up to the moon, you may find yourself without a path to follow, and then you would have to seek help from the spirits, and they are not always benevolent.
So basically, the exact same problem we have messing with the wraiths.
Well, that sounds like fun. Why not? Let's go. Let's do that.
Well, there is the other thing, though.
Which one is it?
If we have a totem spirit, our chances of making it through this will probably be better.
Really?
They make us more powerful. What is it you guys say? They give us magic?
Magic. Oh, well, that's the closest thing I can relate to this entire situation. But do we have to go back to Saint Denis to build a shrine? Was it?
No, you don't have to have that. It just makes you look better, and you're going to end up doing it eventually. Thing is, we have to all decide and agree on the totem spirit. They don't really let you take a mulligan. Once you have one, you kind of have one.
Well, you three are more in touch with the spiritual side, so honestly, I'll just let you guys decide which one is for the best, and I'll just go along with it. Because if we take into account all the spirits, all the animal spirits that we've seen and met, I don't know what's much of the difference between one of them or the other, so yeah, I'll leave it to you guys. Even if it's the rat, I think. Was it the rat that we have to give away our money?
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
Oh, well, then I guess aside from that, then yeah. Any spirit that you guys decide to, I'll agree with it.
It's something to think about.
As I
And,
says, oh, but you would make the Raven so happy, Adrian.
yeah, I know I would. He looks to Delphi's eyes and says, if we were to want, would you be able to call a spirit for us if we wanted to try maybe tonight or soon to contact the spirit for is that something you could help us with?
Yes, I can perform the ritual that would allow you to begin your totem quest.
Mm.
And from there it would be up to the totem you wish to pursue. It would be up to them to test and see if the four of you are a worthy pack for them.
He looks to the other three again and says, "Would you guys be up for that?"
Definitely.
We already fought a spirit once, so facing a trail from another spirit shouldn't be that different.
This is gonna be different.
Don't tell me we're gonna be debating as our trial.
I don't know. I don't know.
But we need to do this if we want to make it on time. We don't have much time left. So I'm out. I'm down for it.
Okay, let's take a night and a day to talk about it, and then tomorrow night we'll make the decision, or we'll have the decision by then. The reason I'm saying let's do it at night is because I think I know what the decision's going to be.
Okay, sure.
He looks back to Andromeda and says, "Is there anything you'd like us to bring you, or anything? We can go pick up anything you need."
And she shakes her head and she says, "No, I believe I have everything I need here. I I keep pretty well stocked.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll go and begin my preparations, and when the four of you are ready, just let me know."
Okay. We're just, well, probably me and Isaac. I don't know about the other two, but we're just gonna be right outside the town where we can just camp and make a fire. There's no reason to waste money on a room. And that way it's quiet and private where the two can speak.
Okay.
So I know we've had the talk before, and a lot of people don't know too much about it, but does anybody have any other options, any ideas that they might have come up with as to what totem spirit we should have?
What of our uh candidates that we have so far?
I only remember Owl.
I
It was
don't.
pretty unanimous.
Yeah, I don't remember any other, honestly.
When we were talking about it, it did seem pretty unanimous that it was a owl. I mean, we mentioned rat, crow, but no.
We're not doing rat.
All right. Well, we'll prepare ourselves. Like I said, night and a day.
Yeah.
Because this is all going to be in the Umbra, guys. This is Yeah.
Sounds fine to me.
You've been in the
And I'll
army.
just, at least this time, our horses will be set. I'll just pay some money to them and then keep an eye on our horses for us.
That sounds good to me.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
Why do you
Real
say
interesting.
that? Why do you say that?
Well, can't say I've ever come up to a spirit that has to be a pack totem.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that works either.
I'm sure you and your silver tongue could probably help out some.
Oh, I'll figure something out.
Just as long as I don't have to do the talking, I'll probably float it up.
Well, play to our strengths, I guess.
Yep.
So, yeah, they're going to camp out. Adrian's going to spend most of his time just thinking because he is going to have to be the one that talks to it at first.
Sounds good to me.
All right, sounds good. Since it's owl, does anybody want to prepare any rodents or small animals to offer as like a sacrifice?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like Isaac would definitely encourage that, knowing just how Owl is.
Mm-hmm.
So
He's the great hunter.
yeah, he would go out and find rabbits and rats and mice, squirrels. Good
Alright.
array, a good selection.
Alright, I'll be back tomorrow.
As Lazo asks, do we need one each?
No, but it's a good select. It's good to have a selection regardless. Never know, his spirits might be picky.
And so they prepare an owl smorgasbord and prepare to figure out what they're going to say to the damn thing.
And as you guys catch small animals in the forest, Andromeda does encourage that you leave them out for the woods, out in the woods for owl's kin to find.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay, yeah, they do that.
that will help. That'll probably help. And over the course of the following night, you do notice more owl activity.
Who what?
Okay.
Ha ha ha. No, who like an owl?
I hate you. If we were close to a cliff, I would throw you down the cliff.
But yeah, when nightfall comes, they'll just all get ready and figure they're going to the Umbra. Do whatever she tells them to do.
Okay, and as you meet up with Andromeda again, she has a small bowl with her, and it's filled with this kind of foul smelling mixture. And she instructs each of you to close your eyes as she basically rubs this paste over each of your eyelids and draws the symbol for each of your tribes on your foreheads. And as she does this, and Andromeda says, "We will go into the Umbra, and from there you will track and seek out Owl. I will go with you, but my role is to guide when absolutely necessary. I will simply follow and observe and intervene if I must."
All right.
Okay.
All right, and then as she finishes up, she guides the four of you into the Umbra. And in the wilderness, it's easier to cross over into the spirit world, and there's that shift in perception as colors are more vibrant. The air feels more energetic, and in the middle of the night, the stars just brighten up even brighter than before as you see the stars up above and the shifting colors of nebula and the cosmos and the bright moon as it's part way between a waning gibbous and a half moon. And around you is just the mountainous forested landscape and the natural sounds of the spirits of insects and birds, and you might maybe hear the howl of a wolf somewhere. And not too far ahead of you, leading into the woods, very quickly you'll find an owl feather. And Andromeda speaks up and she says, "From here, the four of you are on your own. It is up to you now to track down the spirit that you wish to make your totem. And it is possible that Owl may leave clues for you to follow." And from there, she takes a few steps back and she lets the four of you take the lead.
He goes over and he picks up the feather. looks out over the landscape for a bit. Then he looks to Isaac and says, "Do your thing."
Um, his thing.
Rack.
Yeah, he will actually. I don't think he'll have his. Do you think he would have his little spirit with him? Actually, no, he might have left it with the horses. I think. I
I'll
don't
leave
know.
that up to you.
You know what? No, because he wouldn't want to do anything the easy way when it comes to this, because it's pretty important. So yeah, he would try to track down the next clue other than that feather to see if he can find a spirit that would be willing to shift him. He has no particular gift for that, so it's just natural tracking skill at
Okay.
this point.
All right. Let's see.
So I think his gift is mostly for human or for people and whatnot. But even then, he would want to use that to make it easy.
Yeah, I'd say go with maybe perception and primal urge, or
Okay.
perception and alertness.
Can I go for alertness? It is higher.
Oh yeah, you can go ahead and go for alertness.
Okay, so perception and alertness. I'm just gonna. So perception, alertness. Okay. Let's see if that actually works.
All right, 4 successes. Yeah, so as you start to track Isaac, you find. Oh, excuse me. It's not long until you find, uh, leading deeper into the woods, you find another owl feather, and then another. And it seems like there's basically a somewhat of a trail of owl feathers leading deeper into the forest.
Okay, he'll follow that trail. Along the way, he'll shift into lupus.
Okay.
Heck yeah. As soon as they find the second feather, it's more of a direction he's gonna shift to. He's gonna try and get into the hunt.
Yeah, he'll keep following the trail and leading the charge, as it were.
Mm-hmm. All right, and as nope.
Hmm?
Discord mess up or?
I think it might
Oh,
just be
sorry,
him.
I got
No.
got distracted.
Oh, no problem.
Liz's mom came in talking about a drink she gave us like quite a bit ago. She made us cocktails, and she was just talking about how much rum was in it.
Oh.
Oh boy, you and rum.
Yeah. I've been taking small sips, though. I should be fine.
Uh-huh.
Wellness are enough. Wellness are enough.
All right, yeah. So the four of you follow the trail of feathers, and it leads you through the forest until you reach this until you reach a ravine, and it's a deep crevice that seems to extend far into the horizon on both sides. And the feathers lead you to these two posts that look like the start of a bridge, except they extend out across this chasm, and on the other side there's two more posts, and there doesn't seem to be a visible bridge.
Mm.
And these two
Oh,
posts are decorated in feathers, and looks like they're painted with various depictions of owl.
Not certain if we have to stay here or take a leap of faith.
he goes up and he checks out the the posts on their side.
Okay, do let's do a let's do it like a perception and investigation.
Perception and investigation. Alrighty. Four, 10, 10, 9, 4.
Okay. So, Adrian, as you look over each post, you can see that the depiction of owls. It looks like the owls are guiding small human-like figures over a bridge. And that's on both of the posts.
Like the bridge is in the middle.
Yes.
Well, that's really fucking scary. He glances at the pack. And then in the wolf tongue basically says no guts, no glory, and
Yeah.
jets out in between the two things like fuck it. He just tries to line up the middle of the two sticks on his side, and he's gonna aim for the middle of the two on the other side and just go.
All right.
Exactly what Isaac was going to do.
And Adrian, as you jump out to launch yourself over the ravine, you probably, in wolf form, you probably reach maybe a good like 6 or 7 feet before you would expect you drop and fall to your death.
That's what he's expecting.
But instead you stop. You find solid purchase on ground, but when you open your eyes, you're just standing out in the middle of the air.
Oh, well, there's no standing. He's running. It's a little weird fucking thing. He just fucking jets.
Yeah, as you just run, it looks like you're running on air.
But he is moving forward.
Yes, but you are moving forward.
He's okay with that. He's just gonna run.
Yeah, you run and you reach the other side.
Huh. Who would have thought?
Yeah, Izzy would be doing the same thing, just rushing forward, going across. Just don't. He calls in Wolf Tongue. Don't look down, just in case it's transparent.
It's transparent. Yeah,
Oh
don't
yeah.
look down. Just run between the sticks. He howls out, run between the sticks and keep on running. Hopefully Zest or Heath and Laz will follow.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk across the sticks, rather in between the sticks, seeing that both of them made it onto quote unquote solid ground.
Yes, Laz, you can walk calmly but attentively.
But isn't that as fun?
Yeah, but it's not, now that you've shown that there's no fear, it kind of defeats the purpose of running for your life when there's nothing to run from yet.
Eyes are probably kind of near the middle. He'd slow down, take a look down, kind of sniffing a bit, and prances along, bouncing a little bit because it's actually happy to be there. Adrian's probably never seen him actually prance. Like Micah does, a little prancing thing she does.
Last, did you see that? Are you seeing what I'm looking at? Are you looking at
Why?
this? Are you seeing what we're seeing? What I'm seeing right in front of me?
Come on now, you can't deny that this is great. I mean, look, floating on air.
See what else?
And Laz says, I don't know, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I kind of wish I didn't, but I think I am seeing what you're seeing, what I'm seeing. So let's just not talk about it and just continue on walking this bridge.
Creepy ass, pure black wolf or jackal looking wolf just prancing around.
And Laz says, then maybe I am seeing what you're seeing.
Well, if you're seeing what I'm seeing, well, you're seeing what I'm seeing, then I think we're both in agreement.
Don't make me shove you off this bridge.
There he is! For a second there, we thought the spirits took you over or something, like possession.
Swear to God.
And so he makes, eventually, he's just the third or fourth, depending who, if Last runs ahead of him across the bridge.
Alright, and then everyone reaches the other side safely.
Start sniffing around, see if there's any more feathers. Any scent that says "Let's go this way."
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you do find more feathers.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of like before. Just the occasional feather and it leads you in a direction deeper into the forest.
Yeah, Isaac would keep leading them. Actually, in his element.
And that's when the path that you follow kind of opens up into a grassy clearing as the trail of feathers suddenly seems to end. And excuse me while I burp. The trail eventually ends, and you find yourselves on the edge of a grassy clearing. And there's tall grass, probably about waist high, that fills up this clearing. And it opens up into a starry sky up above you, and you can see the moon above you as well. And it's almost dead quiet. There's just this loud silence that seems to fill the air.
And here, I think the jump scare will up here.
Yeah, just keep your eyes up.
Yeah, he stops in the middle of the clearing, kind of sits back and looks up, mainly at the moon.
Meanwhile, Isaac's searching for some sign of owl, knowing that it can be pretty damn quiet when it's flying. Even howls out a bit.
Yeah, let's do another perception alertness check just for fun.
All right.
Alright. Let's see, difficulty -2.
Let's see. So
Let's see.
first, you said perception and alertness.
Yep, perception and alertness. If you're in lupus, it's going to be a difficulty 4.
Let's see. Slash roll.
Oh shit, I got 7.
Dee-dee.
Why did the difficulty work?
I got 1.
No, you got 2.
Oh,
Difficulty
yeah.
4?
I got
Yeah.
2.
I'm not very alert. I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Alright, give me just one moment. Alright, and then give me just one moment. Alright, and as you look for any sign of owl, since it seems that your trail ends here, that's when you spot a shape flying across the moon, high above you. And just as soon as you see this winged shape soaring above, it swoops downward, and then there's just a rush of wind as the large shape, it's massive, as it flaps its wings, and the tall grass in this open area is just blown back flat against the ground as the rush of wind nearly knocks all of you off your feet. And standing before you is this large tall, powerful owl. It is a specifically it looks like a great horned owl. And it stands before you and looks down and tilts its head slightly.
Yeah, he's taking a moment just staring at this giant owl. Before he realizes, oh shit, I'm supposed to be speaking.
Say something already.
Yeah, Isaac would have given like a clear of his throat of sorts.
Like clear the throat. Oh yeah, with dog.
Yeah, he stays quiet for a time. He's just looking, admiring, before he finally lowers his head and clears his throat himself and says, in spirit speech, we. Oh man, what does he say? Great, great owl. I'm. Little shadow reveals the truth. Philodox of the Shadow Lord tribe, and this is my pack. The Blood Moon's vengeance. And we've come to earn your favor. We would be honored if you would be our pack totem.
And the great owl pauses for a moment and turns his gaze down on Adrian, and it's this piercing gaze, almost as if he were looking straight through him. And he says, I have seen you make offerings to my kin, and I hear word that you will need a guide through the Umbra.
Yes, this is true.
Word of your deeds has spread among the spirits.
Thank you, Laz.
I'm sorry, I'm out of character. I'm having a brain fart right now.
It's okay.
There you go.
I was trying to think of what to say about that. So, like, yeah, well, keep on listening, dude. We're awesome. I don't know. I'm sure he comes up with something like, we're honored the spirits would speak of us or something.
And Owl continues, and he says, And I know that 2 of your pack have passed their rite of passage, and I have seen that you have taken a leap of faith in following the trail that I left for you that led you here.
We have.
And he seems to kind of step forward a little bit closer to the 4 of you. And he says, just as you have put faith in me that I would not lead you astray into the abyss, I will put faith in you. And he leans down and basically pecks the top of each of your heads. And then you feel this connection, not just with Owl, but with each other. And Owl says, wherever you may go, I will guide you.
You honor us. If you ever need us, you'll of course know where we are. We will be there for you, day or night. You or your kin. Maybe I am too forward asking, but maybe your guidance could be used already. The elders of our sept have tasked us with retrieving a gate stone, but we don't have any idea where one would be. Could you steer us in a if you know, could you steer us in the right direction?
And the owl spirit gives a nod. And he says, I can guide you along the way. You need only to choose a path and walk upon it, and I will guide you.
Oh shit. Once again, you honor us. We thank you. He looks to the others. Can they understand him now that he's their pack totem? Do they understand what's going? Do they understand what they're saying?
I'll have to double check and see if that's like an extra thing that you can pick up. But for the sake of ease, let's say that now you suddenly understand what the owl is saying. So let's hand wave it and say that the rest of you can understand owl now.
Well, that's new.
Sure is.
He thanks him again, and he looks back at the pack and says, "Do you guys need me to translate what just happened?"
I'm assuming they say yes.
He said yes. And now all we have to do is start walking on a path, and he will send us Hence, and take us to the Gatestone. We're, of course, probably going to have to fight for it. But at least we have a path now, a direction.
All right. Guess we should figure out where we're gonna start.
I can still go for a while, so you know what? Let's just keep going in the same way that same general direction that Owl had us going to begin with.
Sure.
Sounds
He'll
like a good plan
turn.
to me.
He'll tell us to turn if we need to turn.
All right.
Hopefully.
Oh, and since you are all in the Umbra, as soon as Owl taps the top of your heads, you all now have wings sprouting out of your back.
Oh, I
Oh
forgot
my
about that
gosh.
part.
We get to fly.
Oh, Isaac's immediately taken off. Testing those bad babies out.
Well, at least someone's excited for this.
I don't know. As soon as they decide what direction to go, Adrian bows to Owl one more time and starts flapping his wings.
Come on now, Heath. You can do it. Stop being such a spoil sport.
Fine. And Heath takes off in the direction that the others are going.
Takeoff is
Marvelous.
the takeoff is a little messy, but within a few minutes you're all flying like you were born flying.
Isaac just wants to see him land like an albatross. Just face first right in the ground. But yeah, he would wait up for Les and then head off.
I need a couple minutes. Got to take a quick piss.
Oh, for sure. Let's take a quick break because I need to go too.
Sure.
All right.
There he goes.
All right, straight to the moon.
I'm going to run to the moon, goddammit. He's really not sure how this is going to work out. But people seem to be talking about it like it's a thing, so maybe it is.
One of these days. Oh, you're going there right now.
Meanwhile, Isaac's wondering if they're taking this go to the moon thing a little too literal.
Oh dear. Might as well fly with him. He goes after Adrian.
He's glad the sun isn't out, because the story of Icarus is playing in his head over and over and over again.
All right, yeah, and so the four of you get your wings and start flying up and higher as the the landscape below you grows more and more distant, and you start seeing farther and farther, and you fly up, and the forest the forest below seems to get smaller, and then you can see the mountain and what might be strawberry, maybe, as you just start flying higher and higher into the atmosphere. And eventually you reach a point where you're flying up into the clouds, and you see these paths of light, almost like little roads, they as these roads that are illuminated with the light of the moon. They shimmer in the moonlight, but they seem kind of incomplete, as there's kind of large gaps between them. And flying higher up, you start seeing these kind of wind and cloud spirits moving and dancing around the sky, in the sky. And eventually you start to lose a little bit of speed as you as the four of you fly up past the clouds, just breaching the layer of clouds, and then it starts getting harder to kind of pick up more altitude.
At that point, they might try running up some of the broken roads and just flying in between to get to the next one. See if that can help them on their way.
Okay.
They're like little mini moon bridges or pieces of moon bridges, right?
Yeah, basically.
Basically
And
a bridge made out of moonlight.
yeah, and Isaac would make a suggestion that maybe following one of the broken ones would be a good idea. Maybe there was like a
Stone at
tie
the end of
severed.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
like maybe ties got severed either because the Karen fell or something happened, moved. It's possible. Any of the broken ones might lead to what we're looking for.
Somebody might have done something to anger the spirits. And...
Hmm.
Okay. So yeah, they'll start following the broken path, and they might try for the direction of the moon still in the direction of the moon, not try and find the earthly base to it just yet.
Okay. Yeah, following one of the moon path, uh, one of the little roads of moonlight, you do see it kind of reaches like a point, and then it starts to kind of slope down again. And there are still some other paths of moonlight that seem to lead further up towards the moon.
When they hit the kind of apex point and look around, he's going to offer the option. Do we keep trying for the moon, or do we see if there's one on Earth that we can retrieve?
How far are we into the sky?
you're past the clouds and kind of like in the, I guess, outer atmosphere of the planet. Um, I'd say it's still a fair distance away, but basically, as I'd say, like as long as you focus on getting to the moon, you'll you'll get there eventually.
Well, we made it this far. Might as well go the way.
Come on, not even your cousin can say, I went to the moon today.
Yeah, also, I have a question. Couldn't
Yeah,
couldn't Eyes of Delphi made a portal for us to get to the moon instead of just us flying there directly?
only if she had a bridge stone.
Besides, it's not as fun.
We
Right.
have wings, man. We ran to the moon.
We are running
Man,
to
you
it.
suck the joy out of everything.
I tried.
Typical fucking Silver Fang. Maybe that's what we should name you. Sucks the joy.
Well, I've sucked a lot of things, but I'm not sure if we can get into that.
I prefer suck the joy. Just suck it out of everything.
Just all the joy. I suck it. I suck it all.
Well, I suck more of than joy, but yes.
We don't want to know.
Well, you guys ask.
Actually, we didn't. Goddamn Adam. I'm not even
So
joining
yeah,
you.
they're gonna alter course and keep on trying to go up.
Okay. Yeah. So there's one of these kind of moonlight roads that passes right by the one that you're standing on. Let's do a dexterity and athletics for each of you to basically jump the gap.
Well, it was nice knowing you all.
Why you say that?
Just kidding.
It's like, why you say that?
Adrian is small and weak. He does have wings, though.
There you
You
go.
said dexterity and athletics.
Yeah, dexterity and athletics. Let's make it like a difficulty 6, since you guys do have wings, and you can probably use those to get like a little extra boost of momentum.
We are in full. We're in Hespel, right? Or are we in beast form? By the way,
Whatever one you went to.
I do not remember. That's the fucking problem. I think I stayed human, to be honest, through all of this.
Then, what is a human?
Who
I
me?
don't think humans have wings, though.
Like, I don't remember. I don't
I don't
remember.
remember it saying you have to be a particular form.
That's true. I
Yeah,
don't know.
you guys have wings in all of your forms. It's like
Oh,
it's whenever
nice.
you're in the Umbra, you have wings.
Okay, so with that in mind,
I got a success and one success.
Oh
What are
dear.
you rolling
Okay.
again? Dexterity and what?
Yeah, as Laz makes the
Uh,
jump and
Athletics.
makes it across, and then as Adrian takes the leap, Laz manages to catch his hand and pull him up.
His little paw, or rather, his big paw. I think he's bigger in the Umbra.
Well, not all that big
Damn it! I
compared
can't.
to the rest.
I did the wrong thing. Damn it! Hold on. Roll. I always enter the wrong fucking command.
Wait, hold on, what?
I'm still. Why? You know, fuck it. I'm just gonna do the other old-fashioned way.
I think I wrote the wrong thing, actually.
And then one more. There you go. So I got a difficulty 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
Okay, yeah. So Heath makes it across.
I think I wrote the wrong thing. Dexterity, athletics 6. Yeah. Whoops. Hold on. Yeah, I rolled the wrong thing. Hold on.
Oh, that's okay. Take your time.
There we go. I put the extra 2 on there when it already calculated the 2, and I still got 1 success, so that works.
All right, and then Isaac makes it across, and then you are on this road leading further up into space as you start seeing various celestial spirits. Um, you start seeing these kind of robed figures in white as they walk along the various moon paths, and they glow with this kind of they they glow with this kind of bioluminescent glow as they also kind of walk up and down the path of moonlight that you're walking on. And I'm sorry, give me just a moment to think.
Mm-hmm.
Silly me, out of character. I actually did preparing for you guys to go into the underworld, so I'm gonna need a moment.
That's okay.
It's like I prepared for one thing, but not the other.
It was just too good to resist.
Yeah,
Going to the moon.
yeah, the moon is cooler.
Oh, we'll go to the underworld next. Next time.
I mean, if what they want to find isn't at the end of a moon bridge, they can always go to the underworld. Yeah.
Uh, Theoretically, I believe you would be. If lads, I believe
Oh,
theoretically you would be if you exited the Umbra from up here.
yep.
I wouldn't suggest it.
No.
But yeah, as the four of you continue along this path, the moon, uh, the the shadow of the moon starts to shift as it reaches like a half moon point, and it draws closer and closer as you travel along this path. And you start seeing more of these robed spirits as they seem to sort of dance and float along the surface of the moon. And the path that you follow, the path of moonlight, it starts to disappear underneath your feet as you slowly float down to the surface of the moon. And as the four of you you land in front of this, it looks like a shallow pool of water. And it looks like it's full of these glowing stones. But before you can come too close, one of the robed spirits stops and moves in front of you.
After he's done coughing, he just kind of nods once to the robed figure and asks, "Are those bridge stones?" In spirit speech.
Mm-hmm. And this spirit that stands before you, the it its form seems to shift a little bit as you realize it's not a robe per se. It's this shimmering ribbon of moonlight, and as it stands before you, it's outlined in these shimmering colors of gold and blue. And realizing that the four of you are Garu, it seems to kind of ripple, and this ribbon sort of twists in a spiral as if it's excited or happy to see you. And you hear this soft, almost melody like voice in all of your heads, though Adrian is the only one that can understand, as it's like a soft chime of bells. And the lunar spirit says, "Yes, these are pathstones. But first I must ask a question of each of you."
I'll have to interpret for the rest of them. They don't understand your language, but that of course I didn't want to just take one. I was going to ask what we need to do to get one.
And the spirit nods for a moment, and it says, "Luna is in her half face, so I will ask you a question befitting the half moon auspice."
Thank the gods it wasn't at a quarter. Of course.
There will come a day when the apocalypse inevitably comes, and the final battle between the worm, Gaia, and the Weaver. If that day comes in your lifetime, besides your lives, what will you give to save Gaia from the apocalypse? And then the spirit waits for your answer from each of you.
So he interprets that one, says we all have to answer.
What will we give?
Beside our lives.
Why do I have a feeling that if we tell what we give is going to be taken away as a test?
Isn't that how those things work?
Usually. I'm going to have to think about this, because I don't know what I would give besides my life. I mean, what's greater? My loyalty to Gaia, of course, but that's a given being Guru. Actually, a hard question to answer.
Oh, I mean, there's the typical answers. Anything and everything that she asks for.
All right. What will you give, Adrian, as a
Anything and everything that she asks for. Whatever is required to end the apocalypse with our victory, I would give. If that meant all my money, then all my money. If that meant my kinfolk, then my kinfolk. I don't have much else other than my life, my kinfolk, and my money.
I
She
don't have
knows
much
that.
else at all. Hmm.
Hey, Adrian.
Yeah.
After we die, actually, let me rephrase that. Are there spirits that fight the worm even after death?
Yes.
Can they be Guru?
I think so. I don't know. It's kind of a third question.
Then that will be the thing that I give my soul. Even if I die, I will give my soul to continue fighting.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it actually really is.
With you
Get
guys,
my wings.
I'm slowly beginning to understand what the struggle is between Gaia and the worm. And I'm still learning bit by bit. But what I do know is that if and when the apocalypse comes, and if I wasn't strong enough as a guru physically, then I wish to use my soul to continue fighting after I'm gone. That will be what I give.
Oh, there we go for his. Yeah, I pretty much have nothing to give, and I don't think we should be thinking about material possessions either.
Yeah.
You know, spirits don't care about material possessions. Not often. Well, maybe a rat.
I can't think of anything else that I would give up. I mean, I'd give up my afterlife. I don't care.
Well, I mean, the general idea is then for everybody is just everything.
Everything.
The here
She
and now and
gets
the afterwards.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah, Isaac seems good with that choice.
Okay. Laz, do you have an answer? I saw you typing a moment ago. Nothing more profound than loyalty after death, as far as my brain thinks. Says Laz. And so, with each of your answers, the lunar spirit seems to nod and kind of floats to the side as it allows you to choose a stone from this pool of water. And all of them basically look the same. They're smooth on all sides. Not like a perfect sphere, but they're kind of like oval pebble shaped. But they fit. They're about like probably about like fist sized. And on one side of these oval stones, they each have a wolf paw print on the side.
He goes to the edge of the pool and he looks into it and he sniffs at the water a bit and then he looks back over his shoulder and he says, Heath,
Hmm? Yes?
pick one.
Me?
Pick one.
Okay. Uh, so I look into the water and
Try not to suck the joy out of it.
half of me wants. If it wasn't a serious situation right now, I will grab the nearest stone and toss it to your face. Ugh, what am I saying? And so he grabs one, uh, the brightest that his eye caught, and he holds it out to Adrian. Will this one do?
He's still in wolf form, so he's speaking wolf speak, but he kind of cants his head to the side a bit and he says, It's the one that you chose. It's just fine. You're the Auron. This is now your mission. You started out killing a poacher. Now you have to guard that rock. We can't lose it. And we're on the moon. We're kind of far away from home. It is now your task to make sure it gets home. That is what's most important.
Okay, sounds simple enough. And he's just gonna put it in one of his sides, quote unquote, saddlebag that he has on his hip, and
Okay.
close it within the bag. Right. What else is there to do before we try to head back?
Oh, I mean, we can dance with the spirits for a little bit. Have you noticed how like high you can jump here?
And yeah. By the way, wait, did Heath hear about the Weaver, the Worm, and the Gaia, or was it in spirit speech?
No, just now or
Earlier when he was talking to the cloak person.
well, he would have heard it. If he had asked Adrian what he said, he'd tell him everything that was being said.
Because he was gonna ask a question
Of Adrian, or
of like general guru question.
all right, ask.
What's the Weaver? He mentioned something about the Weaver, Gaia, and the Worm.
I'll tell you about it on the way home. For now,
Okay.
let's just enjoy the moon.
Yeah.
We're on the moon. I'm betting money that not even your cousin can say that.
Oh, hope not. And in that case, and Keith crouches down for a second before jumping up into the sky.
Oh, sorry, I meant to mute.
That's okay.
Oh, guess he can have fun after all.
Just doing lazy loop-de-loops into the sky.
Flipping.
Yeah, you do these like big jumps, and just as you think you're gonna like drift off into space, the moon's gravity pulls you back down again.
Weird. Frolicking wolves. But basically, he is the man with wolves. I think he's the only human common form. Everybody else is in wolf form. Dancing with wolves, taking literally.
Before they do too much frolicking, he thanks the loon for his help, his or her help.
The loon kind of shimmers as it seems to kind of ripple and seem just generally happy, and then it starts to just kind of float away.
Ooh.
You know, they run around for a bit. There's no use in just leaving so quickly after they got to the moon. I mean, you don't get to do this every day.
Can we do this every day?
I wish. Actually, they probably could. It only probably took them a month to do it.
Yeah. Only a month to get up here. By the way, can we learn from any of these spirits that are hanging around up here?
Yeah, if you have something that you need a spirit to learn from, we can try and get one to help you.
I'm not sure what they what wow wow blah, 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 wow. He's just having a stroke because he's in the moon. No, it's like I don't know what they would be able to teach me that I can use.
Well, why don't we research different gifts that you might be interested in learning, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
It doesn't really work with the Hey, you, come here. What can you teach me? They're not going to tell you. They tend to not want to help those that don't do their homework. I
Good
know
point.
that. All right, so they frolic for a while before they have to start heading back because with time being unpredictable in the Umbra, he doesn't want to be late on accident.
Be gone for 3 years and it's only been 3 minutes.
And as you frolic, you start to notice the shadow on the moon starts to kind of grow as the moon changes faces. It's now becoming kind of more of a crescent moon. It's kind of halfway between a crescent and a half moon by the time you guys start getting ready to go.
Been a long time.
About what, 3 days?
We
Full
ran to
days?
the moon. That's all we gotta tell them. We ran to the moon. Sorry it took so long. Yeah, so he guides them back up especially when he notices that the face is changing. And he says, "We gotta go. We gotta start heading back home."
All right, let's go. Let's dive down. Near.
And they start running down,
All right.
flying where they have to.
I'll check. I think you might be breathing into the mic just a little bit.
There you go.
There we go. All right, and then you take a moon path down from the surface of the moon and closer to Earth. Unlike before, where the roads were kind of like half together, as the moon shifts from a half moon to a crescent moon, the moon paths start to get even more slim and incomplete. But thanks to the lack of gravity in space, uh, you can easily just kind of jump or float down to Earth. And then as the as you float and soar down into the atmosphere again, gravity starts taking more of a hold and you start flying down and descending down as you pass by the various wind and cloud spirits, break through the cloud layer, and then start making your way back. And I'm guessing you guys are flying back to Saint Denis.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah,
can
sounds good.
actually.
Yeah, fly back to Saint Denis. They'll get their horses.
Oh, that's right, the horses.
They'll fly to Strawberry and get their horses later. It's more important to bring the Pathstone to the elders.
Okay.
That's what they should have said. We give up our horses.
I don't think it sounds as dramatic. What's wrong with the moon? What?
All right, and um, as the four of you descend down through the clouds and fly over the Heartland Plains, you can still see where the the fires are still ongoing, but they seem to have died down quite a bit. And then you see Saint Denis in the distance. It's tall, towering smokestacks. The hustle and bustle of its ships in the port, and on the Umbra side of things, the large spider webs that kind of web and connect all the buildings together as various mechanical spiders kind of go about their business on the strands of web. And you descend down into Saint Denis just a few days before the next moot, and that's where we're going to leave off for now.
Okay.
Alrighty.
As they're flying down to Earth, real quick for Laz and Heath, because it was brought up and he said it would be on the trip. In the beginning of time, Gaia created three forces: the Wyld, the Weaver, and the Worm. The Wyld is chaotic creation. It just creates and creates. The Weaver gives it shape. Everything that the Wyld creates is given a shape by the Weaver, and the Worm destroys it. Once its lifespan is up, the Worm kills it. Well, the Weaver got sick of the Worm always killing its shit, so it tried to tie it up. It also tried to tie up the Wyld, but you can't tie up the Wyld. It doesn't have a shape. So the Weaver tied up the Worm. The Worm went insane. And now that's why we have to fight the Worm's corruption. That's who the Weaver is.
See.
Basically, it's the patron saint of all the humans. The people that keep on building and building and building, that's due to the Weavers. Kind of the Weaver's influence, whereas we Guru fall more under the purview of the Wyld. We don't have one form, we have many forms. We're kind of out of the Weaver's grasp that way. Like we can grow wings in the Umbra. So that's an abridged version of why we talk shit, especially about the Weaver, because one, she creates the cities that are just a great big scab on the face of the planet, which is Gaia, and two, she is the sole reason why the Worm is their enemy.
That was very wild to hear.
I'm gonna shoot you.
Dad jokes.
Gotta get them somewhere. Let's ask the question.
I'm not letting you take this away from me. Oh. The moon was half full. So the loon asked a question that a Philodox would ask, which is what Adrian is.
Mm-hmm.
If the moon was a quarter, we don't have a quarter moon. That's the Thurgis moon. So it would have asked a question about spirituality that probably none of us would have been able to answer.
Would have been stuck there for a few.
Yeah. See,
weeks.
you're the Laz is the 3/4 moon. Heath is the full moon. Laughs last is the new moon. Adrian is the half moon. Cara was the quarter moon. And they all have their kind of their personalities. Like Heath is always, let's go get into a fight. That's because he's the full moon, and you're the showman. You're the thespian, the actor. That's because you're 3/4 moon. I'm a lawyer because I'm a half moon, and Laughs Last is a bounty hunter because that's the joke.
That's the joke.
Wow.
That,
Wow.
I can't. I don't have any
See,
combat
with
for that.
Ragged Bash, it's different. Ragged Bashers are usually seen as the tricksters or jokesters, so on and so forth. Basically, the polar opposite of the Arun.
Mm-hmm.
They don't tend to take things seriously, but it also depends on the tribe and even the camp in that tribe.